What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about DigiByte today, DGB, at the request of George R. Aiden or Adane, George or Adane. It's a George of some sorts. Hit that like button, subscribe, you guys. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. DigiByte here, if we look at it with some volume on it, maybe this one here, you can see that we are having about average volume this week already. 2 days, 21 hours left, so we probably will have above average volume. The higher you close this week, the better. I think the better the look would be, honestly. If we're looking at this on a daily time frame, that was above average volume yesterday and pretty nice move up. I don't believe that we just continue skyrocketing from here. Maybe we do, maybe we don't, but that's not my suspicion at the moment, and we'll go over that in a second. But I do want to look at this on an all-time historical basis, not just on the Binance chart. Actually, hold on. Does the Binance chart have as much data as this does? That's all I want to know. No, it does not. Okay, so we're not going to use that. Yeah. So if we look at this first on a daily basis, you had a downtrend here from the end of December or beginning of December, highs to highs, coming down here. You've broken out of that, found support on it, and now you're diverging away. I think you are setting up, you are accumulating down here, and you are setting up for some kind of recovery that'll take you higher. Okay, I think that's definitely on the menu. Whether you go below this low or not, that's not for me to say. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but I do suspect Bitcoin has lower to go. It probably drops 12% or more from here. If that happens, I would anticipate DigiByte follows suit, right? A lot of coins like to drop more than Bitcoin, so I would assume you do drop a little bit more than 12%. But being that you've held up better than Bitcoin recently, you might hold up pretty well against this drop. It doesn't mean that you have to go below this low, but I'm just saying that's about a 20% drop to go below this low, at least from the current price. It could happen. Are you going to return all the way back to this line? That's a 41% drop. I don't think so, man. I think with this newfound life that DigiByte has in it since this November pump here, I don't think so, man. In fact, how much was that from a low to a high? Yeah, you outperformed the average altcoin by a lot there. So, yeah, I'm not anticipating anything. If you do go below this low, sure, a little bit below this low, but nothing crazy, man. At the lowest, maybe 0.078. You're at 1 cent right now. I think being at 1 cent, DigiByte could totally be in this race that we have between Onyx Coin and Swift Coin. We could add it to the mix. Onyx Coin and Swift Coin are both at similar prices. I guess this one's a little bit lower than DigiByte right now. DigiByte would have the lead. We're gonna throw it in. Man. Swift Coin, Onyx Coin. Who's gonna get to 20 cents first? Is it gonna be Swift Coin, Onyx Coin, or DigiByte? Swift and Onyx are a little bit closer together. DigiByte has the lead already, but I think it's a fair assessment. It's got a similar market cap and everything. Decent volume, man. Decent volume yesterday. I'm not. Oops, that's not what I meant to do with it. I'm not upset with that at all, and that could encourage the price to continue to grow. But I think it's important to be patient, okay? Wait for this resolution in the markets to take place. Wait for the resolution and the economy and the tariffs and all this uncertainty and fear to settle. And I think it will settle, but we'll see. 4-hour data getting overbought here, looking pretty damn good. If we're looking at the relative high back in March 26th to this relative low, you do have a tweezer top. At least that's what it looks like right now. You are closing right at the golden ratio, opening right at it, coming down. In all fairness, with the golden ratio, it's very common to find resistance here the first time, find support on the 0.5, and then continue. You have found support at the 0.5 already. Find support at the 382 and then continue. So, I mean, maybe you go lower, maybe you don't, but finding support here kind of in the heart of this range, finding support at the 382 kind of at the base of this range, that's fine to do. At the moment, being at a 1.03 cent price, overbought in the RSI, I'm going to take it to the I'm going to take a guess here to the downside that we do see prices down at about 0.095, something like that, and then maybe you work your way up from there. If you do bounce off the 0.5 or the 382 like this and you get above the golden ratio, if you can close above the golden ratio, which is at about 1.05, what is that? 1.050, 1.05011 cents. If you can close above there on a 4-hour period or more, this party is not stopping, and you are. George, you're right. It's a DigiByte party, and it's not stopping, man. It's going to the upside. Inevitably, it is going to the upside. Whether it does it today or tomorrow or whatever day, it's going to happen. But at this moment, I suppose I am expecting today to be a little bit of a pullback. And I do think that the coming days might even result in a lower price. I don't know if I'm completely convinced you go below this low. I'm just accepting it as a possibility, okay? But what I wouldn't be surprised with is 0.096 to 0.009 itself being a possible price area that we could see, okay? From there, we will continue. Enough of the downside. Let's talk about the upside. 1 hour, dude, the one hour looks bullish as hell, actually. A little bit lower wouldn't be crazy for the 1 hour. But if the 4 hour, if we're overbought and then you come out of the overbought zone, that likely does bring you down to like the 50, at least the 60 area, and that could set you up for the 382. So just be aware of that little bounce area there. 15-minute time frame. 15-minute, the 1 hour, and the 4 hour, in all honesty, they give me bullish vibes. So who knows, man? Maybe you don't stop here for too much longer. Maybe that is your bounce at the 0.5. You can just rip from here. So let's talk about the upside on that note. But I am sticking with the conservative approach that you're wicking here at the highs, right at these daily closing highs here, kind of in this area. Daily closing highs, daily closing lows in this area, somewhat significant. I am sticking with the idea that you move down maybe today and maybe tomorrow, something like that, or alongside with Bitcoin. But whenever you are ready to move up, which shouldn't take too much time at all, from a high to a low, the high back in December again, to the low here, I would expect, yeah, and being at the 382, I mean, going down to the 236, pretty common thing to do. I would expect your next target area is probably not even at the golden ratio, because you found resistance here. Oftentimes when you find resistance at the 0.5 like this and you accumulate this long, you don't find resistance at the golden ratio, but instead break through it. It's very uncommon. It's not very uncommon, but it's more uncommon to not stop here on your first attempt. But in circumstances like this is whenever you can see those golden ratios being pierced through on the first attempt. So I guess want to call for about a 1.7 cent target area, something above the golden ratio at the very least, right? Something maybe, let's say 1.7 cents to 1.53 cents, somewhere in that area. And from here, that's a solid bit of growth, guys. We're talking about like a 50 to 70% growth, right? That's literally 47% to 66% right there. So that's not bad at all. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happened over the coming weeks. It might, at this rate, happen by the end of next week, even that you're up at that kind of price. And you're probably getting ready for higher prices at the end of that, right? Looking on the weekly time frame, you've been accumulating for quite some time for a very long time, right? Very, very boring, very, very dull for a long time. And then in the same area, a little bit more exciting, a little bit more volatile, shaking out the weak hands, giving the strong hands an opportunity to buy in. People of a speculative nature watching this stuff happen, maybe finding support at prior areas of resistance, gives them a bit of an itch to get some DigiByte here. I very much don't believe that you're going to see prices below here, right? A lot of cryptos are likely over the coming week going to go below their February 3rd lows. I don't think that's going to happen with DigiByte. But lower than this, yeah, it could still happen. I think that you will see a little bit lower price. Inevitably, you will go higher. Inevitably, you will see some kind of fantastic recovery that takes you all the way up to 4.6 cents, 6 cents, and beyond. Will you see 20 cents by the end of this next move, by the end of May, June, somewhere in that time frame? I think it's possible. You've had a very, very long phase of accumulation. I do not expect, what I don't expect is that if you stop at the golden ratio, that it's going to hold you up for too long. This would be the minimum expectation. I suppose it's a 4.5x, maybe a 5.7x, something like that could happen by the end of May or June, but I don't think that's what's going to happen, man. I think that you will see your 786 to 886 area at the least, and that's 8.5 cents to 12.1 cents. That's something on the lines of like an 8x to a 11x, 12x. And yes, it's completely possible that you could hit your all-time high area. Hit the all-time highs, maybe go to 18 cents, maybe go, I feel like I'm talking about Onyx coin at this point, 18 cents or higher. You do have a lot of resistance here at that 12 to 18 cent area in all fairness, but if you do go above 18 cents, it's very, very, very possible that you could see prices above 20 cents from a high here to a low there. Let's just see. That puts you right above your 2272. I mean, the highest I would see you go into, I guess, would be about a 26.2x, and that from here is about a 26.27 cents. That from here is about a 25.5x. So that's your largest target would be about a 25x. Your minimum target to expect would be about a 4.4x, but that's still not bad. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Time will tell how you do. And in time, regardless of where you stop by the end of May or June, I do think you'll see new all-time highs. I do think DigiByte by the end of the cycle stands to be above $1 and maybe even being worth multiple dollars by the end of the cycle. At this price now, at 1 cent, you're at about $180 million market cap. A 100x from here would put you at $1. $1.03, right? $1.03 price would give you an $18 billion market cap. Right? That's a 100x. And then if you were to do more than that, if you were to do a 200x or a 400x, that still puts you within the realm of possibility, man. A 200x would be a $36 billion market cap, a little bit above that. 400x would put you at a $72 billion market cap, a little bit above that. Very attainable market caps for something like this, especially with the long phase of accumulation it's had. It's been around for long enough, and this is the kind of coin that can catch the attraction of institutional investors or big players and the like, right? If you've been around for this long, you've maintained relevance, and you're seeing market caps at these levels, even at like $5 billion, $10 billion, something like that, you could definitely see market caps by the end of the cycle that are worth a lot higher than that. So as far as how high could this thing go, I don't know, man. $1.70, $4.50, more than that. It's possible. It really is. But I suppose if I really had to guess, I don't think that you'd be worth more than $5 by the end of the cycle, and I don't think that you'd be worth less than $1. But time will tell. That's all I got for you. So if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.